Welcome back to Straight Facts by Dinar Investor.
Urgent agenda of the urgent and extraordinary session of Parliament tomorrow 10-26-20190 comments. Baghdad, Euphrates News. House of Representatives on Saturday to convene an urgent and extraordinary session to discuss the demands of the demonstrators. The presidency of the House of Representatives said in a statement received, Euphrates News, a copy of it. The Parliament will convene on Saturday an urgent and special session to discuss the demands of the demonstrators and the decisions of the Council of Ministers and the implementation of reform packages. Session 11 will be held at 1 p.m. She added. Adel Abdul Mehdi, the Iraqi Parliament soon October 26, 2019. October 26, 2019 7 hours, 2 minutes, and 2 seconds. The Council of Representatives intends to question the Prime Minister, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces Adel Abdul Mehdi during the coming sessions against the backdrop of bloody protests in parts of the country. A parliamentary source told Twilight News that Parliament Speaker Mohammed Halbousi before the adjournment of the meeting today told deputies present that the next sessions will see the vote to cancel the provincial councils. In addition to the interrogation of Abdul Mehdi, the capital Baghdad and the provinces of the central Euphrates and the Shiite-dominated south are witnessing bloody protests over the deterioration of service and economic conditions, the growing number of unemployed among the youth, and the spread of financial and administrative corruption in state institutions and departments. Judiciary, life imprisonment for anyone who incites social media to provoke armed insurrection October 26, 2019. Baghdad, Al-Furat News. The supervisor of the media center of the Supreme Judicial Council, Judge Abdul Saudar Bayraktar, Saturday, that the judiciary will be sentenced to life imprisonment for anyone who incites social networking sites to provoke armed insurrection. What is going on in some central and southern governorates of unidentified gangs attacking citizens and public and private properties and provoking terror and fear, taking advantage of the poor security conditions, will be sentenced to life imprisonment under Article 192, Bayraktar told Al-Furat News. He added that Article 192 of the Penal Code provides for the punishment of imprisonment for anyone who initiated an armed insurrection against the authorities established by the Constitution or participated in a conspiracy or gang formed for this purpose, pointing out that under paragraph 2 of the said article is the death penalty if the rebellion led to an armed collision with state forces or the death of a human being. Regarding the incitement of some through social media and media, Bayraktar said, Article 195 of the same law provides for life imprisonment for anyone who aims to provoke civil war or sectarian fighting by arming citizens or forcing them to arm each other against others. The death penalty shall be imposed if the target of the offender is met. He continued that the right of legitimate defense is contained in the Iraqi Penal Code Articles 42 to 44 as one of the reasons for permissibility, a right that allows a person to use the necessary and appropriate force to ward off a threat. Illegal, threatening self or money in such a way that this person may not resort to public authorities to seek the legal defense is a right that allows an individual to defend himself against all, with the exception of the legal rule that prohibits an individual from pursuing justice on his own without resorting to the competent authorities. Legitimate defense is an absolute advantage for anyone, Bayraktar said. Adel Abdul Mehdi, the Iraqi Parliament soon October 26, 2019. October 26, 2019 7 hours, 2 minutes, and 2 seconds. The Council of Representatives intends to question the Prime Minister, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces Adel Abdul Mehdi during the coming sessions against the backdrop of bloody protests in parts of the country. A parliamentary source told Twilight News that Parliament Speaker Mohammed Halbousi before the adjournment of the meeting today told deputies present that the next sessions will see the vote to cancel the provincial councils. In addition to the interrogation of Abdul Mehdi, the capital Baghdad and the provinces of the central Euphrates and the Shiite-dominated south are witnessing bloody protests over the deterioration of service and economic conditions, the growing number of unemployed among the youth, and the spread of financial and administrative corruption in state institutions and departments. The Interior Ministry announces the general position of all the events that accompanied the demonstrations October 26, 2019. The Ministry of Interior announced on Saturday the general position of all the events that accompanied the demonstrations in the capital Baghdad and 9 other provinces. While the Ministry of Interior commends the patriarchal position of the Supreme Religious Reference with its valuable guidance in Friday's sermons, the Ministry of Interior affirms that the right to peaceful protest is guaranteed by the Iraqi Constitution and the laws in force in order to safeguard the lives of citizens. Ministry spokesman bring attacks on public and private property. Where today several demonstrations in Baghdad and the provinces. He added, we would like to show the general situation about the overall events, where the security forces have secured the protection of demonstrators and demonstration sites with responsibility and high restraint. Not to use firearms or excessive force towards the demonstrators at all. stressing that security forces have been exposed to a large number of injuries in its ranks led to the martyrdom and wounding of many of them as a result of the exploitation of some of the peaceful demonstrations by assaulting the security forces with firearms, pomegranates and other means such as stones by diverting the demonstration from its peaceful path. He continued, a number of martyrs and wounded fell as a result of clashes with the protections of institutions and headquarters of political forces in exchange with the attackers who stormed and burned the headquarters of those forces.